In this video, we're going to talk about the Rome Buckshot, a twin cambered snowboard that rides like a skateboard. It's one of those boards that it engages more underfoot than out at the contact points. It has exceptional pop. It's got a little added girth to it, so you got a little more stability underfoot. It's one of those decks that it turns the whole mountain into a skate park. Every transition, bump, bonk, jib that you can think of, you can do on this board. It's very playful. It is a slight volume shifted deck in my opinion, meaning you can downsize on it just a little bit. I did ride the 149, would have been more happy on the 151, not complaining, still killed it on that board. This board features Rome's Stay Positive rocker, which is traditional camber. They had to change the name of traditional camber to remarket it to people. So from contact point to contact point, there's an arc, and that's what you load and weight to drive the board at the contact points. Basically, this camber profile will have snap and pop to it, and you're going to steer it out at the contact points. It's feeling very redundant to have to keep talking about traditional camber. Don't you agree, John? Oh yeah, see, he even agrees with me. This board is available in regular sizes. The best way to sum up the flex pattern on the Blackjack is that it's soft yet responsive, which means it's snappy and playful. You've got an abundance of flex in the tips, which makes it great for pressing, buttering, and just driving the board. And then it's stable underfoot. There's a moderate amount of torsional flex, but not a lot that makes it overwhelming and you overpower the board. I still found this board to be very stable when I was charging around on a groomed run. It got bucked around from time to time and really rutted out mashed potato snow, but I would attribute that more to the size than anything. It was lively, but still damp and stable underfoot. I never really noticed any of those micro vibrations that resonate underfoot through the bindings and into your knees, you know, the ones that really fatigue you throughout the day. This board was actually mildly damp where it needed to be. All right, so you do want to load this board up to get snap with it, and you're going to notice a lot of rebound with it. This board has pop. You can load this up and boost as hard as you want. It will send you to the moon when you want to. This is one of those profiles that it's not the most aggressive to load up, but you have to know how to load it up, and when you do and you engage it, it's gonna pop. Now, I was on a 147. So obviously not the most ideal for hitting jumps, but I did hit some that were around 15, 18 feet. Nothing crazy big, and it did the job real well. It snapped off the lip. You would notice you were in the air. It was great. It just turned everything into a launch ramp. I wouldn't have hesitated to hit a 30-foot jump on this, and I think if you're riding size appropriate, you're never gonna have a problem with sending jumps on this board. It's at home in the air. So there's a sweet spot in the tip and the tail that really lets you lock into presses and butters. You can get your weight right over it and it will engage and you will stay locked in. But when you want to snap out, it'll pop you right out. This board does have response. It's not one of those decks that fights you when you're buttering or jibbing, but it lets you know that it's there and you want to pop out of whatever you're doing. This board is at home on rails. It will lock in when you're sliding sideways. It will do nose and tail presses with ease and still have that snap that I've already mentioned. This is a board for someone that knows what the fuck they're doing in the park and wants to have some precision and power with an ease of play with it. While not the most powerful board when on edge, it's solid. You can drive this board through a carve, you can load it up off the tail and slingshot it out. I did Euro carve with it, which it's a 147, and I don't think I should have been on something that small, and it did wash out on me. Was that my fault, or was it the boards? I want to say probably more my fault than the boards, just because of the size, but it did let me engage that Euro carve, and even though I washed out, I went back and tried it again. I never had a problem with it. This board rips fucking turns. You can just slingshot and spring in and out of turns, whether you're doing short, tight, quick setups or those long, drawn-out, banked ones as well. This board is for the park guy that wants snap, but still needs an ease of initiation when pressing. This is one of those well-rounded park boards that you can downsize on a little bit. Obviously, I did. rode a 147, I would have been happier in something in the low 150s. But it gets the job done. This is a deck that is very playful, very responsive, and very fun to ride in the park or outside the terrain park. You know, when you leave the reservation and you're like, oh my God, it's the big bad world out there. Yeah, well, fuck it. You can always slow signs, spray skiers, always spray skiers, and boost off of a side hit. The Buckshot is a great board. It's a skateboard for snow, and that's the way I look at it when I'm comparing it to other boards. Here's a list that you need to check out. The Dinosaurs Will Die Bogart, the LibTech Box Knife, the Interior Plane Project Haro, the Weston Logger, the Ride Kink, the Rosinal Retox. Remember to comment, share, subscribe, and like this video. That way you can see all the relevant or irrelevant snowboarding content that we're putting out for you guys. So smash that bell down below, that way you're getting a notification, and I'll see you guys in another video. If you've been enjoying all these product reviews and you haven't been buying through our affiliate program, which is down there, why don't you check out our Patreon? This is a great way for you to get involved with us. There's some great rewards on there, and it helps fund us so we can do more product reviews for you guys that enjoy what we're doing.